Thanks a lot, Pat. Great to get started on another Saturday morning here on Pacers Weekly with Daenerys Den. And our first guest is the general manager of the Indiana Pacers, Chad Buchanan. The preseason is over, the regular season getting ready to start. Now, I'll tell you that Chad and I are taping this on Thursday prior to the final preseason game with Philadelphia. But Chad, it's been a quick turnaround since the bubble, the elimination in the playoffs back in August. You hired a new coach in Nate Bjorkgren. You had the draft. You had free agency. You had the quick start of training camp. It's been a whirlwind, hasn't it?
It has just our new reality of living in this pandemic and operating a team and a season and travel and a draft and free agency with the limitations that we're all under has been a new experience for everybody. But I think we're all ready for the season to start. We got the team together, great new coaching staff who brings a lot of energy, a lot of great new ideas. I think that'll hopefully maximize this team. And guys were disappointed with how we ended last season. I think we felt we could have been more competitive in the playoffs, and hopefully we can get a healthy roster to start this season. And we're ready to go. I think it's these guys love to play hoops, and they've been away for long enough, and I think they're ready to start up again.
Chad, you made the decision at the top to make the change in the head coach. Nate Bjorkgren brings in a new staff, one holdover in Bill Bano, and all the players have talked about the energy that this new staff has brought, the enthusiasm in the Ascension St. Vincent Center. You've lived it there in the building. You were with the team in Cleveland. What have you seen in that relationship between the players and the staff?
Yeah, the staff, you hit on the head, Chris. There's a lot of energy from this group. Nate has really put together a staff that complements each other, but they all have one thing in common. They bring a positive kind of outlook on everything. And I think our players really feel that. And I think that'll breed, some confidence in them when they step out on the floor. And, Nate brings a lot of creativity to how he coaches, coming from the background where he comes from. You coach in the minor leagues, you got to adapt almost from night to night because you don't know who's going to be in your locker room, who's going to be available, who's going to be called up, who's going to be, assigned to you, who's going to be traded to you. And, working under Nick Nurse for so long, who's, I think is just a fantastic coach. He's, developed a lot of the similar philosophies. And I think you'll see that as the season progresses. One thing Nate really stresses is he wants to build so our team gets stronger and stronger as the year progresses. And, this is a year where teams are going to have, challenges and excuses built in. We have to alter our schedule to deal with dealing with the virus, and that can cause guys to maybe complain and use an excuse here and there. But Nate views it as an opportunity. While other teams might be complaining about the environment we're in and the situation we're in, we got to embrace it. This is we talked to our team. This is our 30th opponent. Dealing with the pandemic, we got to attack this because it's here every day coming after us. And so I think it's created this unity early on with this team because we're kind of going through something new together, and the energy coming from our coaches and the positivity and how we're attacking this situation, I think will make for a good season for us moving forward.
This is Daenerys Den on a Saturday morning, Pacers Weekly. Chad Buchanan, Pacers general manager, is our guest. And you hit on it with the players. 13 of the 15 from that active roster are back. A lot of continuity. You look at free agency, and you might have wanted to dip your toe in it, but nothing made sense. I know you feel good about this roster. Last year, the starters played 8 games together and 86 minutes. And I know you'd like to see that health be much better this year.
Definitely. I think sometimes, teams who make a lot of changes, it's, sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes that's a bad thing. We looked at opportunities to, tweak our roster a little bit. But overall, we like the core of this group. We like the foundation that was in place. We like the age, range of this roster, how they complement each other. Not to say we're not always looking to improve the team. That's our job as a front office, is to look for ways to improve the team. But, at the end of the day, we like this team. They get along well. They're very professional. They're high character guys. They're pros. And, I think, bringing back, the majority of this team was something we had talked about because, like you touched on, we really haven't seen this team together yet. And Hopefully, we have health this year in our favor, and we get to see this group play together, because it's hard to make a judgment on what this team was when we had so many players out. And now every team goes through injuries, but it felt like our injuries were to guys that we never really got to see this core play together. And this season, hopefully brings us some good luck. Hopefully Santa brings us some good health this year.
All right, finally with Chad Buchanan, I had a chance earlier in the week to talk to Justin Holiday, and I mentioned, nothing's normal right now. We know that with no fans. But what is at least normal is you guys are back home. You're practicing in the Ascension St. Vincent Center. You'll play in Bankers Life Fieldhouse. And I guess for you, with a wife and kids and number of players with families as well, at least you have that, right? You've got some sense of normalcy when you leave the building, you're able to go home.
Yeah, and that does make a difference in just in the overall psyche of, our team and our coaches. You can get consumed with your job just like anybody, in the real world. You get too consumed with it, and sometimes it's unhealthy. And having that balance of work and family and hobbies is important to just the overall health of everybody in our organization. And, I was telling you off camera, we miss seeing you and Quinn and, all the people who are normally around the team. That's an adjustment for the guys too, because it's a different environment. But having, that sanctity of being able to go home after a practice or after a game will create, more healthy, I think, environment for all of us. But ultimately, we want to be back in our building with all of our fans, with, all of us that support us. And that's important to this team. And I think they look forward to that day. I think we all do, of getting back to normal and having a full, house in our new arena, which, people I know haven't been in there yet. It's beautiful. Mel Raines and our business side has done an unbelievable job transforming our arena, and it's going to take another, couple off seasons to finish it completely, but it looks beautiful over there, and I just can't wait to see that building rocking with all of our fans in it again.
Chad, thanks so much for joining us on this Saturday morning. Can't wait for the start of the regular season next Wednesday against the Knicks at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. All the best. Best of luck this year. We'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good, Chris. Thank you.
All right, Chad Buchanan, general manager of the Indiana Pacers, our guest on Pacers Weekly. Back to you, Pat.